Good morning. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 419 of the Two Dumb Yinzers.
Whoa.
Yes, guys, and this is game day. Pittsburgh Steelers are at the Houston Texans today. Guys, can't be more excited.
I'm pumped up. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go.
I can't even watch the game.
See, Derby, we're all pumped up, and the Derby just going to come in and bring it right down.
You have been quite the downer lately, Derby, but you know what? That's
No,
all
I have
good.
a good reason.
Derby, it's
you're at the wedding.
The wedding is today.
Oh,
wedding.
what time is the wedding?
3.
Oh man.
Derby,
Yeah,
it's a
so
magical day.
I can't even watch it.
That's rough. I did guys talking about Taylor Swift when I first joined. You know, who's hotter? Now, don't go in personality, but who's hotter? Is it Taylor Swift or is it Patrick Mahomes' old lady? on looks alone. Let's say you were out and you never seen either one of these two or met them or heard either one of them talk. What one would you rather be with?
Probably Patrick Mahomes' old girlfriend.
I would go with T Swift just because Mahomes' girlfriend, she got that look in her eye.
Yeah.
She got that look.
T Swift has so many exes, though.
But that don't matter to me.
That don't matter. Mahomes' chick probably got exes too, right?
Right.
That don't matter to me.
Screw it. T Swift, she got more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that if you just saw him. I'm just saying, like, Mahomes,
it's
my wife. She has those crazy eyes. Like she gonna
it's just on looks alone. Yeah. You're walking down the street, Derby, and bang, there they are.
She looks like she hears voices in her head. And
which one looks more attractive to you?
Well, there's only one T Swift that can sing.
Yeah, but we don't know that. Like I said,
you're missing the premise of the question. It's
a very shallow man question.
Yeah, this is like shallow right here. Just going, oh yeah, her. This is what we're looking for, Derby.
See, I think Patrick Mahomes' wife is better looking.
She is. She's better looking, but she got that look in her, that crazy look, or she could kill you. So you just got to go with the safe one at that point.
Speaking of crazy look, get this. The defensive player of the year odds came out according to FanDuel.
Yeah.
Now, number one, I have no problem with number one. At a plus 175, they got Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Number two, at a plus 300, Myles Garrett.
No.
Number three, and then number three, at a plus 400 is TJ Watt.
If you reverse 2-3, that makes sense to me.
After that, Nick Bosa, and then Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, Hutchinson he's rising up the board.
You know what? He don't get enough credit. As much as you see a lot of these pass rushers talked about and just you hear these different names all the time, Aiden Hutchinson is not talked about enough. This guy certainly, I seen him play twice this year.
Yeah.
And he is very disruptive. You know what? These guys like Parsons and Hutchinson, I like the way they use them too. They're in the middle of the line. They're on the end of the line. They're on the other end of the line.
They're all over the place.
They're everywhere, and I like that.
It's hard to classify them as a position. They're not like outside linebackers. They're not DNs. They're just all over the place.
Pass rushers.
Yeah.
Right. Because even on run plays, they're doing their thing.
It kind of like way back in the day, the way Penn State used LeVar Arrington all over the place.
Yeah.
This is why I like football now, man. Like no one has if you're that much an athletic freak, you're not being pigeonholed into a position or a role. But yeah, Parsons, I have no problem with him being one. Myles Garrett, he doesn't affect the game the way these other guys do. I don't know why he's that high.
He's a 99 in Madden.
Let me give you some more grades. Highest graded defensive players, Nick Bosa with a 93.9. Myles Garrett, number 2, with a 93.8. Jalen Carter, 93.2. Javon Holland from Miami, 93.1. And finally, TJ Watt at number 5 with 92.2.
Yeah, he only leads the league in sacks.
Mike,
he's up there. He's defensive player of the month, but he's only.
Mike, he's the defensive player of the month. TJ's 6 sacks is more than Atlanta, Chicago, Denver, Houston, Jacksonville, the Rams, the Raiders, the Giants, and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yet they still find a way to put this Miles Garrett in front of. It's almost becoming comical. It's almost becoming laughable.
It is, and there's one guy at PFF who's all about his pass rush win rate is just oh my god, it's just so fast.
That is not a good.
If you're not
sacking the guy, who cares? It doesn't matter.
No. Well, getting to the quarterback faster affects the play more than a sack, according to this guy.
That's the stupidest thing. I mean, and here's the thing: you don't know it. It's unprovable. You can't prove if that affected the play or not.
It's like, do you have a skittish quarterback there or not? Because if you had like someone like Ben, he'd just sit there and ban Cam Newton. They sit there and take the hit. And if you do it on a younger quarterback, okay, that might cause them to do something stupid. But yeah, like you said, it's really unquantifiable because variables change. But a sack is a sack. You're losing 7 to 10 yards on a sack.
There's certain
an incomplete pass.
There's certain statistics in hockey that I sometimes think to myself, that's a weird statistic.
Yeah.
This would fall into that category in football.
It's like plus minus.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Or the hits, the amount of hits you have. Who cares?
And
that's part of the game
too. Yeah, and hits are subjective in hockey. Pass rush, pressure. Because we saw it last week. Kenny would roll. He would, he would move away, and that would cause like a sack
anything
or
in hockey. Do they affect anything? You don't get it selected to an all-star game based on if you have the most hits. That's what I'm saying. It's just a dumb statistic.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, I just don't,
An hour from now, 16 minutes.
Yeah.
While we're talking about the Steelers defense, the Steelers defense is ranked number 1 in the NFL in sacks with 13. Second with pressures, they have 40. Second in takeaways, they have 8.
Yeah.
And they have 2 defensive tackles.
And like pressures, again, that's kind of like hits in hockey. It's subjective. What's pressure?
I agree. I don't like
a quarterback stepping up wrong in the pocket could be counted as a pressure, because they read, the situation wrong. So that one's right there, subjective for the most part. Like a lot of times you can see when there's pressure, the blitz are coming in, blah, blah, blah. But, the stats that matter, takeaways and tackles for losses and sacks. Stupid defense not doing too bad.
We're coming into this game with a 2-1 record, hoping to get the 3-1. The Texans come in with a 1-2 record. CJ Stroud, this quarterback is playing as good as any quarterback is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what's the keys? What's the keys to the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game today?
Don't underestimate the Texans. For me, it's that simple. You can look at it on paper, like they're without their more or less their entire starting offensive line, coming into the preseason. They're missing Lamar Tunsil. Just don't underestimate them. They have some good players. Dameon Pierce is a solid running back. Tank Dell's a good wide receiver. John Mitchell III last year, he was out he had like Hodgkin's lymphoma. He's coming back. He's a good player. They have good weapons. They have good players on defense. Just don't underestimate them. CJ Stroud under pressure, he's performing well. Even with this complement of healthy linemen, you get pressure on him, he's still going to make the throws. So it's going to be when we get pressure up front, that the back end, that secondary has to step up. They can't do what they did, against the Raiders, early on, giving up those big chunk plays.
The Steelers of older, just the Steelers of older than today, they would have found a way to confuse this rookie quarterback. I don't.
LeBeau would have been in the lab.
LeBeau would be all on that. I don't see this team having the and I just for lack of better terms, I just don't think that they're smart enough to put together a game plan to outsmart the Houston Texans. I'm not saying they can't outcoach them, they can't outplay them. Yeah. I just don't think they're capable. They're so.
It's that zone blitzing scheme's not used in the NFL anymore, to where that was just so confusing even for vets. But I think they're just going to out pressure them.
And pound for pound, I just think that we're a better team. The defense this year is better than Houston's defense by far, I think. And the even with the struggle of the quarterback play, I mean, our skill position players, I think are just better. Unless it's one of these crazy games where something stupid happens, which is very possible. Don't get me wrong. I don't rule it out one bit, but I find it hard to think that we're going to lose this game. This is one of the games that I classify as one of those games that we probably should win throughout the season. And I think that we're going to win. However, that's why they play the game. We will see. And, We'll find out here in about less than an hour. This game does kick off.
I got
Mike,
3.
right now, the Falcons and Jaguars, they're in the fourth quarter of this early game. Jacksonville's up 20-7 over Atlanta. Of course, they're trying to bounce back after their big 37-17 loss to the Houston Texans last week. And a lot of great games also, guys. We have a Browns-Ravens game today. Really, if you go down the list, there's a bunch of amazing games.
Deshaun's out.
Is Deshaun out?
Yeah, he's out.
Deshaun is out.
Yep, shoulder injury.
I don't know if that's going to help or if that's going to hurt the Browns.
Oh, I know, right? It might actually make them better.
I know. He has done nothing. He's done nothing to impress me.
Yeah, I think it's the the quarterback from UCLA, the rookie. He's going to start. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. I see the Ravens winning this game because of this.
Yeah.
Also, let's see. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Nate Herbig will make his first start at right guard today. It's going to be interesting to see Nasty Nate down there getting it in.
Yeah, James Daniels out with the knee injury.
Brad Wing, we got Brad Wing going to start today.
This is like the first time he's played in the NFL in what, 7 years or some shit?
I believe so, yeah. Kickers, that's what they do. I could just imagine, him in the past 7 years just out there kicking the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Out there on a big field and a cornfield.
I'm hoping he's keeping that leg lumber.
Yeah. Well, that would stink if it came down to the punting position.
Yeah,
that would be the reason that we lost.
Hey, we talk about it, man. Field
I'm gonna be a punter in the NFL.
Well, like you go for you play field position, and this guy ends up shanking one at the end of the game when it counts the most.
The way Harvin's been punting the past 2 weeks, and
I hope we didn't just speak it into existence.
I know, right? We just manifested that nonsense.
More on this. I don't know. What do you think about this, Mike? And again, this is just ESPN Seth Wilder says Steelers should trade Najee and a 2024 fourth round pick for Jonathan Taylor.
If it was the beginning of the off season, I'd do it. I'd make that.
Yeah, this is such an odd time.
You're already
why didn't you mention this? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If he's still there at halfway, like halfway through the season, I maybe consider it. But I like what we were at with.
Let's say we're 7-2. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Do you go after the guy that you think is more talented, could get more productive, and mess up the flow of what you've done since day one of preseason, or do you stick with the guys that got you to 7-2? Yeah,
and at this point, they're the Colts, they're keeping Jonathan Taylor inactive because they don't want to pay him. They don't like that he's trying to get out of there. So and that's he's not practicing with the team, so that's going to mess up his timing. He's not going to be ready for the game action. We see it with running backs. It's one of those positions where we're seeing it with Josh Jacobs out in the Raiders. It's taken him 3 to 4 games to finally get going again, to where he led the league in rushing last year, and last week where he ran for 60 yards. That was his best game all year. And Jonathan Taylor, he's been what's the last time he's had a competitive carry too? If we make this trade now, and you do once, in the long run, he might be better than Najee, but in the short term, might not be. So, you want to do that risk reward on this season? You just ride with Najee for this year, and maybe find an option in the draft or free agency, and you have Najee, Jalen, and another running back, and then you can trade Najee. I would love to have Jonathan Taylor, but his contract's coming up. He's going to want to be paid.
I'm not a big fan
on
his
track record. On his track record, he was one of the best backs in the league. But it sucks for running backs. You can find it's not that hard to find a good running back.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find a good running back, but it's hard to put a good running game together because you have to have 5 good linemen.
Yeah.
You can't just have any 5 linemen and expect a running back, no matter how good they are, to be great. I always said that about Barry Sanders. I thought if he would have been on a better team, he would have been way more dominant than he was. And that's crazy because he was
how good he was with that.
He was good on the Detroit Lions. So, it doesn't come down to the running back. I just don't know how much of a difference people would expect if you do bring another guy over. I personally don't think it would have made that much of a difference. But at that point in the season, who knows? We might be hitting on all cylinders, and it might be a little bit easier to run. But it sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
Would you like it? Of course. Yeah.
I'd like it. I'd have preferred it in the off season, when he had a full off season to gel with the team.
Chase Claypool watch, everybody. Game day, Chase Claypool
He is
watch.
a god.
Chase Claypool will be inactive. This comes on the heels of his comments to the media in which he wondered if he was being put in the best position to succeed by the Bears. Wasn't this the problem with the Steelers? The Steelers just wasn't putting him in the best possible position.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Bears and says, hey, these guys know how to use me right. The Steelers, they didn't know how to use me.
Now they're not using them right. Like the only one I think has a gripe on that team is the receiver who was traded to the Bears, DJ Moore. You know, he come from Carolina, was putting up good numbers coming here now, and his numbers are down. He has a legitimate gripe, but you know, he's being the smart guy, the team guy, not saying anything. And this idiot has not figured it out yet. That so far, dude, you've burned bridges on 2 teams. You know,
if you burn bridges on 2 teams, there's a chance that 30 other teams are not real favorable of you right now.
This guy is the epitome of, you know, $1 million talent, 10-cent head. Because if this kid, you know, would actually realize like how talented he is, he'd be a really damn good receiver. But he's just not. I don't know what it is. I don't know what his demeanor is.
He came from Notre Dame. That's what it is.
Yeah, come on. Jerome Bettis came from Notre Dame, Derpy.
That's true. Derpy, every team, get this, Derpy, I'm going to blow your mind. I already told Mike this. Every team in the NFL, Major League Baseball, the NHL, the NBA, and the WNBA. You got that? All 4 major sporting leagues and plus the WNBA. They have all won. Every team in all those leagues won a game since Elon Musk bought Twitter almost a year ago.
No.
Except for the Chicago Bears. Every single team has won since that. Every team in the 5 major sporting companies, the only team that didn't, Derpy, out of probably about 150 teams, give or take, the Bears.
You're telling me when the Bears win, finally, the world ends.
Yeah,
I think you might be right, Derpy. I think
it's the Bears win, the Browns win the Super Bowl, all those things that you've always said your whole life would be, you know, when the world's coming to an end.
Yes.
I guess you just call it the apocalypse, and you're watching all those things happen.
You know what? The way the Bears are going, you know, they're going to finish with a top pick again. Are they going to draft another young quarterback out of college and ruin his career too?
I would assume so. It'd be Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but I think Caleb Williams is more talented than Fields and Mitch Trubisky, but the track record. I mean, that might be the Bears' problem. They just don't know how to evaluate quarterbacks when they draft them. You know.
You think?
Oh, God.
Have they ever had a quarterback that was worth having ever?
You know, hey, Patrick Mahomes is here. Screw it. Give me Trubisky. He had a good season. Justin Fields. Yeah, we'll get Justin Fields.
Trubisky's probably been one of the better quarterbacks that the Bears have ever drafted, if you think about it.
Him and Jay Cutler.
It's not the players, it's how you use them.
Oh, no. Like, yeah, it's part of the players and that organization too. They just can't get out of their own way.
They're in bad shape.
If you're a Bears fan, you should be able to turn in your Bears fandom and just pick another team.
No, it's sad because every once in a while you do run into a Bears fan, and you just think, why do you do this?
But like, why do you hate yourself this much?
You know, the thing about this Pirates, you know, nobody. I mean, baseball just isn't the king. When it comes to football, I mean, if you're a Bears fan, I mean, that's the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
most people, you know, baseball's kind of boring, and people just don't get into it like they used to. So, I mean, if you say you're a Pirate, or whatever, that's your team, that's where you're from, it's understandable. But the Bears, there's people out there that still claim the Bears as their favorite team.
Yeah, and if you're a parent now, do you raise your kid to be a Bears fan? I'm sorry, man, but that's child abuse. You just need to break that generational curse. Tell them to pick any other team. They can pick any other team outside of the NFC North. Okay, that's fair, because otherwise you're just bandwagon jumping. But yeah, let them pick any of the other teams out there. Don't make them be Bears
fans. Let's see. So the Steelers, I got this, Mike, and it was just, I didn't even read the article. I just thought it was an interest. I skimmed it. I skimmed this article, and I thought it was interesting. The Steelers picked as the most dangerous team in the AFC North, not because of just, you know, they're going to come out and be playing great football. They're just a dangerous team in the sense of, you know what, you don't know which team you're going to get. You don't know which team,
right?
You know, you could get the best defense in the league, or you could get the, you know, this team is going to be a fun team to watch this year. For that reason, they don't have it put together enough to be a true contender. But, you know, for as far as interesting and fun football to watch this year, I think the Steelers are going to be atop that list.
Yeah, because, you know, like you said, you know, we can go out and lay an egg one week, but the next week we can go out there and be world beaters, you know?
Right, it's true.
You know, it was like kind of like a microcosm in the Raiders game. First half, quarterback offense couldn't do really a whole lot. Then all of a sudden they got it figured out and they were rocking and rolling. You know, we lit it up. You know, we threw for 2 touchdowns. You know, that's an outburst for us. But no, I understand. I think that, you know, you never know what Steeler team you're going to get anymore.
How about Garoppolo? 6 interceptions already.
Oh, and he's out today.
Yeah,
he's out. They're starting Aiden O'Connell. There's like 4 rookie quarterbacks starting this week. This Steeler team, you know, like
this is who the Raiders were happy to get their guy, though. You know, they were through with Carr.
Yeah,
they wanted Garoppolo, and there you go.
I don't get that organization. That's another team. Oh my god.
Mike,
they're stuck in the past too.
I'm going to blow through a couple other things here, and then we're going to get back to over and under. College football, Mike, your Penn State, they win big. They beat Northwestern 41-13.
Northwestern stinks. That's why they won.
I think we everyone so far. We beat everyone so far, Derpy.
You haven't played Ohio State yet, right?
Hey, you know, it was touch and go there for a while. It was like 10-10 at one point. I'm like, this is not looking good.
Texas, number 3, Texas beats number 24, Kansas State.
Hook 'em horns.
Number 11, Notre Dame beats number 17, Duke, 21-14.
I could have told you they would have won that.
But you did it, Derpy. You did it. You and LeBron.
I didn't, but Catholics versus
LeBron
Devils, of course the Catholics are going to win.
Oh, where were they touching?
Fair.
Maybe at the Penn State game in Du Bois.
Shut up. I knew when I went there, I left an opening for my team.
Underdogs, Kentucky beats number 22, Florida, 33-14.
Oh,
I watched that game. That was a good game.
I watched this game I'm about to say next. Number 20, Ole Miss beats number 13, LSU, 55-49.
That's a good win for Ole Miss.
Ole Miss was looking good. I was watching a little bit of that yesterday. Yeah,
the end of this game was amazing. It really was. I was glad that I caught it. Let's see. USC, number 8 USC beats Colorado 48-41. I didn't watch this game, so I can't really make an opinion. I do know that USC was up big. I do know that Colorado State came back. The Colorado came back. I also know that there was only a 7-point difference in the final score. However, beyond that, I can't really comment on too much more.
It was a back and forth game. USC they didn't let up. They didn't pull their starters. So Colorado was making a comeback. They're getting stops, and they just kept making it interesting. It was a fun game to watch.
All right.
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch all of it. I watched spurts here and there, especially at the end. I was like,
so if they lose to Oregon, we're done. Nobody has to pay attention to them anymore.
They already lost to Oregon.
They lost to Oregon big last week.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're overrated. Colorado's overrated.
Well, they came back and they went toe to toe with the number 1 team in the nation. You know, both quarterbacks were looking really good. Like 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions between them. It was a good game.
I don't know. Yes and no. Yes, they are overrated, and no. Yes, you should still pay attention to them because it's crazy. It's crazy what he's doing down there, and it's crazy to see what he can do moving forward.
They built an offensive line.
I don't think you should be criticized if you're not a fan. I think that whole part of this is ridiculous. But I think as a sports fan, paying attention to this is something cool because it's the big story of right now, whether you like it or whether you don't. But guys, also this is the one that I've given up. I've given up this season on Pitt. They lost to Virginia Tech 38-21. Next they played the 5-0 Louisville. This team,
what was that at? Was that at Virginia Tech?
I don't know. Yes. And you know what the thing is about this team is I said it about 2 weeks ago after a loss. I said, these guys aren't going to win 4 games this year. And you know what? I'm sticking by it. I'm going to be surprised if this team gets 3 wins this year. They're that bad. This quarterback is that bad. They're playing that bad.
Jerkovic
Performance is that bad.
He's an amazing
He's not Kenny
quarterback.
Pickett, that's why.
Hey, Kenny Pickett wasn't Kenny Pickett till his senior year, Derpy.
Hey, I'd rather have Kenny Pickett than this guy. This guy, he's so
he's
bad.
He's bad.
Where's he from?
He's from here. He's from Pine Richland. Then he went to Notre Dame, couldn't make it. Went to Boston College, did very little, and then came back here thinking he was going to ride off into the sunset, but he stinks.
Stick to the education, son.
Narduzzi just loves this guy. I don't get it.
I don't get it because
stick to the education, son.
Narduzzi is that guy who can never be wrong. Narduzzi's just, he's a genius. Just ask him; he'll tell you.
Oh, I mean, he's done a lot of great things. I ain't gonna take that away from him, but I don't get what he loves about this Jagovic. I don't get it. I don't get it. At what point are you going to see that this guy? He's got to be the worst quarterback in the ACC. He has to be.
They might be the worst quarterback in D1.
Well, that would be hard to do, but
he's in the conversation.
I certainly know that I would give him my vote for the ACC.
Yeah.
Let me get back to this in a second. Pirates lose last night 7-3, allowing the Miami Marlins to get into the playoffs by beating the Pirates last night. The Marlins clinch a spot, so they do make the playoffs. But you know what the good news is, guys, is this. Today is the last game of the year. 162, Derpy. When at the beginning of the year, when you said,
I'm sorry, we didn't get our World Series
162, here you go. What did we find? What did we learn, Mike, by waiting all the way to the 162nd game to talk about these Pirates? What did we learn?
That they are who we thought they were, that they were going to have a losing record.
You could have 3,600 games, and this team is going to be what they
are.
But
hey. They improved by like 7 games from last year.
Oh,
in year 4 of the rebuild.
That's like getting 5 more pressures in a football season.
You sign like 4, maybe 5 starting pitchers, get 2 more everyday players. This team's going to contend to be 500.
Riverhounds
you probably could have got a couple more games, but you were sellers at the deadline.
They didn't sell anyone at the deadline.
Yes, you did.
Well, we got rid of Santana, but you know what?
He's been on heat check.
But Josh Bell, the Indians or the Guardians, they got rid of him at the trade deadline. Look, he's going to the playoffs with the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, Derpy. What's your mouth? Derpy?
Well, I know Cleveland stinks. I could have told you that.
Yeah, we tried to tell you the Pirates suck. You kept going, you just wait. You just wait. And we did.
That's why they played the season. That's why it's 162 days. That's why blah, 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 blah.
We tried to tell you, Derpy. We tried to, like you always say, Derpy. I tried to tell you. Now we tried to tell you, and you didn't listen.
The worst part is we can't get our World Series tickets
Tulsa
now.
3-2. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds qualified for the playoffs. Our soccer team is going to the playoffs.
See, at least you have soccer.
At least we have soccer. At least we have football.
We have a winner somewhere in this town.
You guys had to see this yesterday. Even if you didn't see it, you've seen the highlights of it. The Fire Matt Canada signs made their way to College Game Day. They were speaking about football games yesterday in the college circuit. And while this was going on, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wild, crazy fans in the background with their signs. One made it into the College Game Day that says Fire Matt Canada.
You know what? After that offensive outburst that he and Kenny Pickett put on at the Raiders, they want him fired? No. Extend Matt Canada.
Mike Derpy, best part of the show, best part of the week right here. Heading into the game, we got about 37 minutes to go. Mike Derpy, over under time. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm fired up and ready to go.
Here we go. I'm going to go to Mike. I'm going to start with Mike, and we're going to go to Derpy, and then we're just going to go back and forth. Here we go. Mike, Kenny Pickett, 1.5 touchdown passes today against the Texans.
Under.
Derpy, 1.5 touchdown passes. Kenny Pickett against the Texans.
Over.
Mike, Pittsburgh running backs, 130 yards.
Oh.
Now that's the total.
Oh,
is that
Jaylen
combined?
Warren, Najee Harris,
the
Houston Texans defense. Mike, 130 yards. There's a running back.
You know what? I'm taking the over. I am taking the over. It's probably stupid, but I'm taking it.
Steelers running backs, over or under 130 yards today against the Texans.
Over.
Mike, Pat Freiermuth, a half a touchdown, over or under?
Under.
Derpy, Pat Freiermuth, a half a touchdown, over or under?
Under.
Mike, CJ Stroud, 1.5 touchdown passes, over or under?
Ooh. Under.
Derpy, CJ Stroud, 1.5 touchdown passes, over or under?
Over.
Mike, TJ Watt, 1.5 sacks, over or under?
Over.
Derpy, Watt, 1.5 sacks, over or under?
Over. Turn down for Watt.
Mike, Alex Highsmith, a half a sack, over or under?
Over.
Derpy, Alex Highsmith, a half a sack, over or under?
Over.
Mike, Joey Porter Jr., a half of an interception, over or under?
You know what? I'm taking the over. He's getting his first pick this year or this week.
Derpy, Joey Porter Jr., a half interception, over or under?
Under.
Mike, Brad Wing, a half a shank, over or under?
Well, I'm taking the over. My man hasn't kicked in a decade.
And finally, Derpy, Brad Wing, a half a shank, over or under?
Over.
All right, there you go, guys. We certainly be watching this game in Houston to find out how this plays out. I think this is going to be just as interesting as every other game the Steelers played in, with the exception of Philadelphia, Buffalo, San Francisco, and if we played Kansas City, throw them in there too. But I think that this is going to fall in suit. Nothing is going to come easy to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that they could finish with a pretty good record. I think that they could get into the playoffs. But as I said, nothing is going to come easy for this team. It's all going to be a challenge. The whole season is going to be a long challenge. They're probably going to just be exhausted by the time they get to the playoffs. They're just going to, like I said, if you're going to get a decent amount of wins with the way that we're playing, it's going to be a nice long, crazy season. A lot of heart attacks along the way for us fans, but you know what? We're in for the ride. We've been to the rodeo before. We've been to the dance when it was bad. We've been to the dance when it was good. You know what? We're not going to go anywhere. So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumbyinjers.com. The2dumbyinjers.com. Head on over there. All of our social links are there. Links to where you can watch and listen to the podcast there. Merch store is there. Blog is there. Everything you need for the 2 Dumb Yinzers at the2dumbyinjers.com.
There you go, everybody. Go check that out. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. All right, here we go. We got the final Texans question of the week. All right, what's Mike up to over there? What's he got? Oh, he got his hat on? Is that your 2 Dumb Yinzers hat, Mike?
That's my 2 Dumb Yinzers beanie.
There you go. Everybody get a first-hand look.
It's all crooked, but it's
what a 2 Dumb Yinzers beanie stretched over a
bald man's head.
A hot air balloon would look. There you go.
That looks better, Mike.
What? Hold on. What looks better?
There's no shiny bald.
Okay.
Huh, at least I show myself, Derpy.
Oh.
What?
All
I'm
right.
a dog. I'm a dog.
That's true.
There's
no evidence that tells me otherwise. Question of the day, guys. This is the final Houston Texans question. It might be easy and it might be a trick question. But here we go. Are you ready? What Texans player was NFL's first player with 20 sacks? Which Texans player was the first NFL player with 20 sacks? All right. Take a moment, guys. Think that over. We are live 7 days. No, you know what? We're switching, guys. I don't want to mislead anybody. Tomorrow we go back to 5 days. We are only going to be Monday through Friday. That was our summer schedule. The 7 days was our summer schedule. Summer is over. We are well into spring, and we are back to our normal schedule starting tomorrow. 5 days, 11 to 12, every day during the week. So Monday through Friday. Don't miss that. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll be talking a bunch of football. Tuesday we have guests that I'm going to announce a little bit later. But we're switching that up, everybody. So keep that in mind, mark it down. We're going back to 5 days. No longer will you see us on Saturday and Sunday mornings. For now. All right, guys, here we go. What Texans player was NFL first player with 20 sacks? Why am I not reading that right?
I have no idea.
Mike, who do you think?
Some white guy from the Green Bay Packers.
Watt.
Do you want choices or do you want
Watt?
All right, Mike says Watt. Derpy, A, Whitney Merciless, B, Jadeveon Clowney, C, Mario Williams, or D, JJ Watt? Mike is
JJ Watt.
In. All right, Mike and Derpy are both locked in on JJ.
Why would you need choices, Derpy?
I don't know.
He just wants to double
check. It could
check.
be some random dude from the 50s. Who knows?
They weren't a team in the 50s.
60s. You get my point, though.
They were a team in 2000. They literally were an expansion team in like 2000, Derpy. You were in your
lifetime. You always say, "Oh, it's before I was born." You are older than the Houston Texans.
Now the answer is correct, guys. It was JJ Watt. I wanted to give it to you simple. I figured I'd try to throw you off a little bit, but that didn't work. But Mike, what do you got? Do you have anything before we get ready to take off?
I was all fired up. Not Derpy got me all angry. Let's go Steelers. Go out there and put a ass whooping on the Texans. We are overdue for an ass whooping.
Derpy.
Give it an ass whooping.
What do you got?
I got something.
All right.
Shout out to my sister whose wedding day is today. I love you, sis. And here we go, Steelers.
There you go. Congratulations, Derpy's sister. We hope that you have a wonderful day, Derpy. We hope that you have a tolerable day. Any way you slice it, we all want the Steelers to win.
And don't be that guy at the wedding, Derpy. Don't be that guy.
He's going to be that guy. Whatever that guy is, Derpy is that guy.
You draw attention to yourself in a positive manner. Okay, positive manner, not a negative manner. Positive.
Look at him, Mike. Take a look. Just take a stop.
Oh no, he's going to be that guy. He's going to be the embarrassing.
I'm going to totally be that guy.
He's going to be the embarrassing guy.
There's no way that he's not that guy. His sister's
never going to speak to him again after the wedding. He's just going to be that guy. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about him, he's a Boston Red Sox fan.
That's all right. I don't have to smell him.
Okay.
Smells like shit, but Derpy still loves him. All right.
Yeah.
My thing for the day is this. Who, Mike, Derpy, who will finally, eventually score a touchdown first? Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. Which one of these two guys?
Deontay Johnson.
Will be the
Deontay's
first?
hurt. What's Chase Claypool's excuse?
Well, I mean, Deontay wasn't hurt last, but these two guys, come on, these were our 1 and 2 receivers last year to a point. Neither one of these guys have caught a touchdown since that point.
It's the curse of Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, because
Claypool is going to score.
He wears that Chicago Bears uniform really well.
Kenny Pickett ruined Chase Claypool.
I just know this, that neither one of these guys have scored a touchdown in a really, really long time. I wonder which one of these guys will score first.
Poor Deontay's hamstrings hanging on by being surgically repaired, and Ryan's kicking him while he's
dead. His pain hasn't been irrelevant.
Yeah. Until 2 weeks ago, that hasn't been a problem. But it's football. Guys get injured. All I know is Chase Claypool wasn't playing today. He hasn't scored a touchdown since Twitter was bought by Elon Musk. Neither of these guys. All I got to say is I don't know. I wish that I could give a good answer. I just don't know. I don't know who's going to score a touchdown first.
Deontay was on track to get a touchdown that first week, and his hammy was like, F you. You guys put a hit out on Deontay Johnson.
All I know is neither one of these two guys has caught a touchdown in a long time. I don't even know.
Kenny Pickett started throwing passes.
Kenny Pickett has nothing to do with anything.
Yes, it does. I'm trying to get you riled up.
I know you are. It's retarded. All I'm saying is there's nothing. There's no explanation. These guys are supposed to be a 1 and a 2 on an NFL pro football team. Unbelievable. Nobody else is doing this. Even bad teams that have bad quarterbacks that don't do nothing all the time. These guys are catching touchdowns. I don't get it.
They're trying to match what the Kansas City Chiefs did. Like they went over a season without a receiver catching a touchdown.
Yeah. So
they're trying to match them.
Yeah, that's probably what they're doing. But
That's what they're doing.
It's hilarious to me. I don't know. I find it funny. I think that people need to do a little different evaluating when they try to come up with these kind of things. But you know what? I don't. Again, I'm not going to go any further. I don't know which one of these guys will score a touchdown first.
Deontay. He's going to come back.
He's got paid, and now he's irrelevant, man. But you're still
well, you know, he Derpy. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't bring up Deontay's track record on here. I forgot that's verboten information. So, yep.
Oh no, like a lot of things is. I mean, I guess we all go that way, but
yeah,
this guy. Listen. You say that with confidence. I don't say that with confidence.
He's going to end up with 6 touchdowns this year. You watch. I don't know. The way our passing offense works, he might end up with 2.
I don't care as long as he ends up with 1, just 1. He can't go seasons without a touchdown. These other guy, come on, stick up for as much as you want, play devil's advocate as much as you want. But these other guys are finding their way to the end zone. This guy, come on.
Everyone's productions has dropped recently on this team, so that's all.
Mike, you say this all the time, and nobody cares. The only thing Mike, again, nobody cares. That's the dumb truth.
I care.
Okay, well, you talk to yourself in the corner while I talk to the grown-ups here.
Okay, then I'll just mute you guys and I'll talk to myself.
The thing about this is, no matter what you say, this guy is going to go 2 seasons without a touchdown. And
he's going to come back and he's going to have 6. He's going to come back and have 6. I'll put $1 on it.
I'll happily put $1. I'll happily put $100 on that.
Oh, I'm not. I don't have that kind of money.
This guy stinks.
I'll put $1.
You don't go through a season without. Come on, I mean, even the guys aren't that good. Didn't even the weird little Watt score a touchdown last year?
Yeah, because they targeted him down in the red zone. They just
like they targeted DJ too, and I remember times in the end zone where he just dropped passes that
DJ. He has a clause in his contract.
You know what? This is a way. Listen, we can't talk about it.
I'm just trying to get
because
you
here's the thing:
up.
you don't even mean it when you're saying it. So it's just like we're just talking. It's just stupid. It's just stupid talk.
Pretty soon, I'm going to be doing this in like 5 minutes to your face.
No, I know the DJ ain't going to score this year. You know what? Because of this, I'm going to say Chase Claypool is going to be the first to score. I hope that he is. I hope Chase Claypool scores before him, and I hope he scores more than him.
Hater.
But, yes, I am. And the Chicago team is probably the worst team in pro sports right now. I think that we do that because this team has not won. They have not won a single game. Every other team from every other major sport. They haven't
won since the Chase Claypool trade either.
They haven't won since the Chase Claypool. So therefore, I'm taking Chase Claypool, and I think he's going to finish with more touchdowns than DJ. We do want to thank everybody for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you, as always. Guys, here in about 24 minutes, we're going to be kicking off Steelers at Houston. You want to make a final prediction? I know I got your predictions for the tiebreaker. Real quick, Mike, who's going to win? What's the score?
21-14.
21-14. Did you say Steelers?
Yeah.
Okay. Derpy, who's going to win and what's going to be the score?
What I said on that paper.
No, I went a whole different one. That's for the paper. You don't even remember, do you?
Okay. 28-10.
28-10. Which is close. That's close to what you said. All right, there you have it, everybody. Anybody else before we get ready to roll? Anything else?
I got something.
What's up?
Oh my God, Turkey.
Bryce Young is a bum, and CJ Stroud deserved the Heisman.
All right, there you go.
All right. Let's
Okay.
end this.
All right.
I've had enough of Derpy.
All right, but hey, for everybody, we do go Steelers. Go check this game out. Big game. We win this game. We 3-1, guys. 3-1, 4 games in. That is not bad for us here at the 2 Yinzers. Derpy, Mike, myself. Everyone have a great day. Enjoy this game. Go Steelers. We'll be back first thing tomorrow again, 11 o'clock for 11 to 12. We are back to 5 days starting tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Steeler game and much, much more. Everybody have a great day. Go Steelers. We'll see you tomorrow.